my God. It's you. I can't believe it. I wanted to take you home, but they wouldn't let me. You know, you are the first thing I've created in a really long time that made me feel like an artist.
Let's go back to 1987, a time before multiverses and endless reboots. Mannequin wasn't chasing franchises or sequels. It was a bizarre, heartfelt fantasy romance that critics dismissed but audiences secretly loved. And in today's era of CGI and AI-driven storytelling, it still feels like a movie Hollywood wouldn't dare to make. So what makes this 80s cult classic so unforgettable? At its core, Mannequin is pure fairy tale. Jonathan Switcher, played by Andrew McCarthy, is a struggling artist who lands a job at a department store. But there's a twist. The mannequin he designed, played by Cattrall, magically comes to life, but only when no one else is around. It's a setup straight out of classic fantasy, no deep explanations, no overcomplicated lore. Just a simple, charming story that lets the chemistry between its leads do the heavy lifting. And let's talk about why this movie stands apart. It doesn't rely on CGI, big-budget action sequences, or even traditional rom-com tropes. Instead, it thrives on its whimsy. The magic isn't explained, and it doesn't need to be. It just is. And that's what makes it work. Part of the film's charm comes from its very 80s aesthetic, bright neon lights, over-the-top fashion, and a soundtrack that refuses to be forgotten. Starship's "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now" became an instant anthem, capturing the film's spirit in a way that no modern-day needle drop could replicate. But here's the thing. Mannequin never got the critical love it deserved. Roger Ebert famously called it dead on arrival, and most critics dismissed it as ridiculous. And, yeah, it is ridiculous. But that's the point. It's a movie that asks you to believe in love, magic, and the idea that an artist struggling to find purpose might just discover it in the most unexpected way. So, why do people still rewatch Mannequin? Because it's fun. It doesn't try to be profound. It doesn't want to challenge you. It just wants to make you smile. In a world where movies often feel like they're trying too hard to be dark, gritty, or hyper-realistic, Mannequin is a rare reminder that sometimes simplicity wins. Could Hollywood remake Mannequin today? Probably. But should they? Absolutely not. Because part of its magic is that it exists exactly as it is. A weird, wonderful 80s love story that lives on in nostalgia-fueled rewatches. So if you haven't seen it in a while, maybe it's time to give Mannequin another shot. Because some movies don't need reboots, sequels, or reimaginings. Sometimes they're perfect just the way they are.
At least she'll never tell you that your hips are too fat.
Oh, Hollywood. Jeez. Listen.
You know I would never bother you when you're getting a piece of wood.